guys, how's it going? So I'm out here on the west side of the house getting ready to plant some really fun new perennials. This is called Pyromania Hot and Cold Red Hot Poker, a type of Kniphofia. You might be familiar with the old variety, just like the standard red hot poker that has the bright red bloom, but there's such a neat variety of them. Like last year I planted one called Flashpoint that starts off like a really kind of bright yellow and gradually turns into a creamy white on the bottom. And I absolutely loved him. I planted him next to Plain the Blue Salvia, and it was a gorgeous combination. And then this one right here, I got to play around with a little bit last year as well, although they are brand new in garden centers this year. And the reason I like this one so much is because I used them in a cut flower arrangement last year alongside At Last Roses. I think I used some Kodiak Orange Durvella foliage. There was some heuchera blooms, but it was so beautiful and such a dramatic accent that I thought, you know what, I need to get some of those in my garden for cut flowers alone. I mean, they lasted forever. But there's also like one called Orange Blaze that Aaron used in one of his containers alongside our fence. And it's kind of more of a uniform orange color, a little bit brighter. And I like how this hot and cold variety starts off that kind of creamy orange and then goes down into kind of a more of a creamy yellow. It's just a really pleasing color to me. And then there's one called Rocket's Red Glare if you prefer more of a bright kind of pop in your garden. So another cool thing about these is that they attract all the pollinators, so hummingbirds, butterflies, honeybees, and they resist the deer and the rabbits. So you kind of get like the best of all worlds. And they can take really crummy soil. They're drought tolerant once they're established, although they do like consistent moisture when they're in bloom like this. And they start blooming early summer and go all the way, last year mine went all the way through fall. So they bloom for a really long time. And I think they'll like this spot because they prefer full sun, which they actually will get in this area. We've tossed a shade up right now because it's over 90 degrees and makes it kind of hot to make a video. So we tossed the shade up to make this video, but other than that, they'll get sun all day long and they will get fairly consistent moisture because I have a drip system over here. So I'm going to get these in the ground and then we'll kind of take a look at the area and then I'll give you a few more details. Is it that I'm running into? So I've run into two really random pieces of concrete. One goes this way and one goes this way, and they're not really shaped in any way. Like, I don't know if they're from old concrete pipes, but they don't go to anything that we use. So I'm just going to try to break up what I can with the sledgehammer because I really want to plant my red hot poker right there. Aaron's going to try. Oh, there's movement. Here, let me just see if I can grab though. Yeah. Well, there's one. This Kniphofia better grow real well for all the trouble we're going to. All planted, and it was quite the adventure digging the hole for this one and finding the concrete, but we got all of it removed that was important, at least for the root system of this plant, so it can grow down and it'll be able to grow out as well in terms of roots. But I love the drama that these add. I love the vertical, like strong vertical accent. They grow about 3 feet tall and about 2 feet wide, so I think this little grouping right here will be very, very striking. They are a zone 5 through 9. I garden in a zone 5. They do prefer in a zone like 5 or 6 to be covered up with leaves in the fall for a little bit of extra winter protection on their crown, helps them winter over a little bit better. Although the flashpoints that I planted last year, I forgot to mound up with leaves and they came back beautifully this spring. In terms of maintenance, today I planted them with Biotone, which is a good starter fertilizer. And then in consecutive years, I'll be using Plant Tone in early spring. And then again, probably right as they're starting to bloom to kind of give them an extra boost to bloom really well through the summertime. And then I let the foliage stay through the winter, and then in the spring, spring, I come in and cut them back just like an inch or two above the ground, and that way they can come back with really fresh foliage. But that's something I really appreciate about plants like this, and plants like daylilies are kind of the same for me. They have beautiful blooms, but even when they're not in bloom, they have a really nice looking foliage, which, like, take Veronica for example. I love Veronica plants out in the garden, but when you cut them back after their first flush of blooms and you're waiting on a new flush of blooms, they don't really look that attractive. So it's nice to have plants next to them or near them that look attractive both in bloom and out of bloom. So anyway, that's pretty much it. I'm just super happy to have these in my garden, and I just wanted to show them off and show you guys just another option for a really sunny spot in your garden. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.